Hey everyone, this is Elenbaas from Nightlight Astrology. Today we are going to take a look at Mercury's ongoing sextile with Venus and why this aspect is going to help us this week, given some of the other intense astrology that is forming. We've talked at length about some of the oppositions forming with Uranus lately, and we're going to talk about why Mercury-Venus in this ongoing sextile should be helpful. So that is our agenda for today. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe, share your comments and reflections. Really helps the channel to grow. If you're new, welcome. Hope you enjoy the content today. You can find a transcript of any of my daily talks on my website, nightlightastrology.com, where you may also want to register for our new course, Ancient Astrology for the Modern Mystic. The Year 1 program in Ancient Hellenistic Astrology starts this weekend. So if you go to the courses page, click on the first year course. You guys have been hearing me promote this since later in September. So we are now starting. If you click on the first year course, you'll notice if you scroll down, begins November 18th. That's this Saturday. You can learn more about the program through everything we have here on the course page. There are 30 classes on the year. They're all held through live webinars, and you can attend those live, or you can participate remotely by following along with all of the recordings, all of the class material, homework, bonus material, an optional workbook, quizzes, suggested reading, the recordings themselves are all housed on a class website where you can watch the material from or download it from to your own device. You can move at your own pace or attend live. We have an interactive group forum discussion staffed with tutors you can ask questions of year round. We also have breakout study sessions with our tutors in between major units of study. 30 classes on the year, plus we also have 12 guest lectures that come in. You get the recordings of those. You can also attend those live. Anyway, at the bottom of the page, you will find the payment options, and you'll also see what kinds of curriculum we cover on the page there. This is our year 1 program. We have 4 years worth of professional astrology curriculum that you can explore if you are especially hoping to start a practice or practice professionally. We have a lot of great material there for people who have that intention, but we also have a lot of people take the course just because it's their hobby. This is something you're doing for yourself. So we really have the course structured in a way that meets people who are at all different levels of interest or commitment. At any rate, at the bottom of the screen, you'll find the early bird payment saves you $500 off. The payment plan is there if you want to spread the tuition out over a year. And then we also have need-based tuition, which is there for people who might need a little extra help in making the program happen. We understand that some people are, have tighter financial situations than others, and we don't want people to spread themselves too thin or harm themselves in taking a course that they really want to take. So we make sure that we have some need-based tuition contracts available for people who could use that little extra help. We have a suggested range within which you can commit to monthly tuition. And if that range is too much, then we kind of let you tell us what price would work for you, and we will work with you on it. So feel free to apply for the need-based tuition if you would like to. It starts this weekend. We still have time to get you in. So any questions you have, feel free to email us, info@nightlightastrology.com, and I hope to see some of you in classes this weekend. All right. Well, only other announcement is that next week we will be launching my 40-day annual Kickstarter, which comes the last 40 days of the calendar year every year. This is our 10th annual Kickstarter, and it is something that we do to support the free creative content that I create 5 days a week year round on this YouTube channel and through Spotify and Apple Podcasts and stuff like that. When you pitch in and support the channel starting next week, you're going to have a variety of rewards that we offer, including my new book, which is coming out, and it's being released through kind of like an audiobook format. The text format is also there, so you could hop on that as a reward. There's readings and bonus lectures that I give on special topics and all sorts of good stuff. So that will be starting next week. We raised the support of about 1,776 backers last year. So our goal is to see if we can do a little bit better this year, as we've also grown the channel quite a bit over the past year. So more on that next week. All right, so today what we're doing is we're looking at Mercury and Venus in their ongoing sextile. So I want to show you what this looks like for starters. Here is, you can see Mercury and Venus working their way together. And if we back it up, they've been here since the beginning of the week. If you back it up a little bit more, it really started on Sunday, November 12th. But watch as it's going this week. We're going to see these two planets traveling within about a degree of one another and coming back onto the same degree all the way through Friday. And then even when you get to Saturday, Sunday, they're still just a degree apart. So, and then they start to separate a little bit more significantly by early next week. But all of this week, they're traveling within about a degree of one another. Now, this is really, really useful. And the reason that it's so useful is that we have some really intense transits going on around us right now. So if we back it up to the start of this week, remember what this week started with. Over last weekend, we had the new moon opposite Uranus, with Mars opposite Uranus, starting the week, the sun opposite Uranus. Uranian transits coming from Scorpio, across the Scorpio-Taurus axis can be very dramatic. They can be a little destabilizing and erratic, even if they are exciting and helpful. They can still, sometimes it's sort of like my kids are in a great mood and they're really happy, but they're also super wound up. And that can actually be a challenging thing for them to have to contend with after a certain period of time. It's like, oh, I'm so excited. And then all of a sudden, I'm still really excited. I can't calm down. I can't go to bed, or whatever the case might be. There's nothing wrong with the excitement that Uranus brings. There's nothing wrong with the intensity. There's no rule that says that you have to get grounded as soon as possible. At the same time, I think it's really important to notice that these transits can be a lot. And for most of us, we will start waving the white flag at some point. We'll be like, okay, I'm done with intense transits, So I think that it's really nice when you see something like this in the sky. Okay, we've got a bunch of Uranian intensity this week, but look at what's happening at the same time. We have this nice harmonious sextile. Sextiles are of the nature of Venus, and they are traveling. Mercury and Venus are traveling together this week and doing some really nice things together. Venus is in her own domicile. Now, Mercury's in the domicile of Jupiter, which can present as a kind of tension for Mercury that's not always easy, but it sure does help that Mercury is traveling all this week with a sextile to Venus. So what could that mean for us? Well, again, first of all, it just sort of provides softness. But here's my 5 reasons why Mercury sextile Venus will help us this week, okay? Number 1, it tempers the Mars-Sun opposite Uranus qualities that are in the air through the start of this new lunation cycle with all of the oppositions from Scorpio to Uranus in Taurus. It also, just at the start of this week, Mars-Sun opposite Uranus still sort of in the air. It's going to just provide... If you were to, have pulled the Tower card in the tarot, right, which can be a very dramatic kind of experience. What I like about this is that it's sort of like pulling the Temperance card right next to it, or even the Star card, which comes after the Tower card. I was reflecting on that recently with a colleague of mine. We were talking about the sequence between the Tower card and the Star card. So if you thought of Temperance or the Star card being there and contrasting with the Tower card, that's like in tarot speak similar to what's in the sky right now. We have a tempering, harmonious energy being expressed through the symbolism of Mercury and Venus in a sextile to one another, and that will create a softness and an ease and a flow and a harmony around what can be very volatile, revolutionary, erratic, sudden, disruptive, maybe very positively disruptive or erratic energies. For some people are going to experience them as more disturbing and difficult than others who may experience them in terms of like a breakthrough. But nonetheless, they are exciting and somewhat erratic, whether they're being experienced more, positively or negatively for people. And so to have Mercury and Venus in a sextile just provides that ease and flow and harmonious quality that can really, really help things. The other thing that it does is it offers harmonious context. That's different than just offering almost like an energetic buffer. The context is important because if you have these breakthroughs as signified by Mars and the Sun opposite Uranus, and at the same time you're getting this kind of Mars reset with the upcoming Cazimi and so forth, well, the contact of Mercury and Venus can now be providing us with some context as to what this breakthrough is all about. For example, Mercury's sextile to Venus may provide us with the context of the breakthrough. And maybe it's about learning or art or friendship or relationships. Maybe the breakthrough has to do with recognizing who you want to work with and who you don't want to work with. Now, if I go into number 3, this will actually offer some maybe some more specificity. Mercury and Venus combined will often have to do with skill development, learning, and teaching, where a mental quality and an aesthetic quality are being married together, like learning musical scales or learning kind of the artful, metaphorical, mythological language of astrology, or developing some kind of musical or artistic skill or ability that's very precise and articulated. Well, it can also have something to do with an ease or an easy, natural ability to get along with other people or to communicate with ease and tact with other people. So number 4, you can think about Mercury and Venus as providing something of there's a charismatic quality, that's what I'm trying to say here, and there's a tactful diplomatic quality at the same time. So if you think about finding things that you're excited about, things that you want to learn, or things that ideas or beliefs that you're excited about, and then finding natural harmonious relationships or connections with other people that may orbit around a similar center of interest. So now we have context for what the Uranian oppositions might be about. Okay, there's these breakthroughs, there's these new ideals being installed, there's strong, decisive actions that I want to take to break out of an old way of being into a new way of being, all very Uranian, right? But I'm doing so in service of things I want to learn, skills I want to develop, aesthetic and intellectual qualities, harmonious relationships that are coming forth and maybe providing a contrast to relationships or people or places that aren't working any longer. So you see how nice that context is. The breakthroughs without that context might be, there's less of a silver lining, you might say. Now we have a silver lining. The silver lining is that these two planets are charismatic about ideas, and yet they're tactful and they tend to get along with other people very well. This combination leads to skill development, especially around art, words, language, anything that's aesthetic and intelligent at the same time, and developing those skills or abilities or finding natural harmony between them. It's great for finding teachers, mentors, coaches. Now, you could be also realizing that, well, I've been doing this thing over here and I can't do it anymore. So I have to break apart from it, redefine my ideals, and now situate myself in more harmonious situations. But at least there's more harmonious situations presenting themselves, right? That's the silver lining. You also have, just generally speaking, this combination is pleasant. Venus is a goddess that brings pleasant, harmonious, fortunate things. A sextile is of the nature of Venus, and the contacts between planets and sextiles tend to bring pleasant, harmonious, fortunate things. So you have a doubling of Venus. Venus is in her own sign. All of these are very important little details. And then connecting with Mercury, and Mercury in a very charismatic Jupiter-ruled fire sign, there's something exciting about the connections being made, as well as them being pleasant, harmonious, and fortunate. You put that alongside of these breakthroughs that are happening from Uranus, and you get the feeling of, replacing something that's not working with something that you're very excited about, something that may be naturally aligning and coming together to replace something else, or something that is offering you like an opportunity as you're having to make difficult decisions or create difficult, breakthroughs, or you're having, more intense, realizations about what you want and what you don't want. Again, very Mars Sun opposite Uranus. And there's a little bit of erratic energy around all of that. Well, how nice is it to have these pleasant, harmonious, fortunate forces coming through that tend to amplify things that we're excited about, things that will work, things that will harmonize together with other people, subjects, and mental energies that are stimulating and also balancing or leveling with, Venus and Libra. So anyway, I hope I'm not just making like a indigestible word salad. Because that's a little bit what it feels. Mercury's in Sagittarius after all. So, but this is why I was looking at this and I was just thinking, oh, this is so nice. This is actually going to offer a really nice contrasting form of support and context that could make these more intense exchanges between the Scorpio Taurus axis with Uranus just, more palatable, easier to deal with. So that's what I have for you today. I hope you were able to look at this and hear this and make sense of it. I'm not feeling the most articulate today. So maybe that'll change when these aspects actually perfect. That's it for now. Don't forget, next week, we're starting the Kickstarter. This Saturday, new classes start. Next week in the Kickstarter, I'll be trying to rally your support again for another year of free content creation and tons of rewards you can get when you donate and pitch in to support the channel. We're going to see if we can reach 1,777 backers or more. It is an honor and privilege to serve all of you through a language that I love. And I'm really hoping that we'll be able to also, as you guys know, in the last 40 days of the year when I'm doing the Kickstarter, I come on and in order to rally support, I do a lot of sessions where I just pop on for live streams and do free readings for people, just for fun and to kind of prime the pump and get the energy going around the Kickstarter. So we'll be doing that soon too. All right, that's it for today. Hope you guys are having a good one. Take it easy. Bye.